You guys want to make a tier list with me?
Sure, what's the topic?
We're going to do the mainline Sonic games. What do you guys think?
Fucking epic topic, Barry. Let's start cooking.
First off, I think this list is a tad too short for the mainline Sonic series, but there are some bangers here, so I can accept that, I guess.
I'll have you both know that nobody knows the Sonic series more than me, and believe me, I've seen it all.
The son of a motherfuck, you're not the only one who likes the series, so keep it your pants, man.
Anyways, I see there is a few titles we never played, so let me just add that real quick.
You can't type for shit, Barry.
Fuck off, Don. I'm old, but not as old as your crusty ass.
Oh, please, I bet you're suffering from the arthritis that is manifested by Joe's ability to deteriorate everything around him.
What the fuck are you talking about? We haven't even started the list yet.
I'm calling you SCP-106, you corroding geriatric
Okay,
fucking
calm the
Joe.
fuck down, you guys. We still got a Sonic list to go through. Okay, first up is Sonic Advance. Now, personally, I never played this one, so I can't really fight for it.
I have nothing positive nor negative to say about it.
I'm with Joe, so just slide this one into never played.
All right, next up is Sonic the Hedgehog from 2006.
Barry, you better slide this shit in S tier right fucking now.
What do you mean? This game doesn't belong in S tier. It belongs in the fucking toilet!
No, don't you orange Oompa-Loompa looking fuck!
Yes, it fucking sucks, and let me explain why.
This fucking guy, man.
Massive budget cuts, used assets, overworking employees, let alone firing them.
Fucking!
Even one of the godfathers of Sonic, Yuji Nakayama himself, backed away from this project to go work on the secret rings. Which was a disaster in of its fucking self.
Listen here, you shithead. I agree the game is a broken mess. But when it comes to the story, interesting characters, level design, not to mention boss fights, this game can truly hold its own in the S tier rank.
Joe, you must be full of shit with those facts because those are the only positives about the fucking thing. What I'm referring to is the fucking gameplay.
Look, I get that the game is a buggy-ass mess. I get that, Jack.
It wasn't buggy, it was downright unplayable.
You know what, Barry? Where do you stand on this game?
Okay, to settle the arguing, I'll put it simply like this. Yes, in some right, the game is goated for two reasons. One being the ambition behind the development. There was a lot of things Sega wanted to put in the game, but because of the deadlines and work, they couldn't add everything. I can see what they were going for when making the story, which is why I think it's goated. The second being that this was supposed to be the #1 title to the mainline Sonic the Hedgehog series, but luckily PO6 by Chaos X has made a spectacular remaster on PC, which gives it a few bonus points. But my experience with the original was terrible, so F tier, Joe.
You guys are seriously fucked in the head.
Settle down, Joe. We still got other games to cover that are better in every way.
Okay, next up is Sonic Rush. It's Sonic on the go, good levels and mechanics and interesting gameplay.
Yeah, I thought the game was good for on-the-road gaming. However, when you break it down, it's just a modern 2D Sonic game. And Part 2 and 3 just bested the mechanics of Part 1.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. It's not the best Sonic game in the world, but it was fun for the time being. C tier.
Okay, I just realized we mixed Rush with Advance.
It's okay. We know where we stand on the title, so just slide it in C and move on.
Fair enough. Okay, next is Sonic 2. Now, from what I recall, this game has 2 sequels, Sonic CD and this game, and I find this game the more enjoyable experience.
I agree. This game was great. I remember playing this on its release date, October 16th, 1992. Jill picked this game up for me as a gift and played it nonstop until the ending boss fight, which was a fucking blast.
Truly an amazing Sonic game for being only 8-bit, but they did one hell of a job. AE tier.
Awesome. Next is Sonic and Knuckles.
Slide that shit into S tier right goddamn now.
I'm with Sleepy MF and Joe. S tier.
Agreed. This game is what built the Sonic franchise. Going forwards, instant S tier. Now Sonic Colors.
Fucking mid.
What the fuck?
Jesus, this guy, man.
Pariah695 did an entire video essay that opened my mind to how fucking mid this game is. I mean, if you wanted to play more of a Rush-style game, then play fucking Sonic Rush. Unleashed or Unweash it even.
So you just listen to what any YouTuber says about games?
First of all, I don't want a fucking Sonic game where the story lacked harder than Unleashed, not to mention the fucking dialogue was cringe after cringe after cringe, especially when they decided to replace the voice actor for Sonic from Jason Griffith to this fucking mockery that they decided to call Sonic.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Trump on those points, but on the other hand, the game itself wasn't that bad. The gameplay, music, and mechanics were pretty clean compared to most Sonic games.
Especially 06.
Oh my fucking God, Donald.
Anyways, the game isn't perfect, but I can settle with B.
Reach for the Stars was a banger opening to this game, though.
Yeah, that we can all agree on.
Good. Up next is Sonic and the Secret Rings. And personally, I fucking hate this one in the Black Knight.
Hold the fuck up there. Barry, don't you dare hate on the secret rings. This game was actually quite enjoyable to play on the Wii.
Joe, don't start praising this game for how much of a dumpster fire it was.
Not to mention '06.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, Don.
Well, I didn't like it for a few reasons. One being that the game is one big auto-scroller, and I hate auto-scrollers, Joe.
Skill issue, auto-scrollers are not that bad.
Yeah, they were bad.
Every Sonic game has that level of jank in its controls that makes the games fun, addicting, and exploitable as hell, which can provide hours of entertainment and needs skill to use properly. The Secret Rings is the jankiest fucking game I've ever played in my entire life, and I'm never revisiting this game for that one reason.
Boom, fucking eat it, Joe.
How about the story, huh? That's something we never fucking discussed with these games.
Okay, I'll give you this. The story is awesome compared to today's titles. Hell, I'd even say that the story is S tier itself, but the gameplay, Joe.
The story's actually goated, not gonna lie. I enjoyed the ending boss fight with Sonic's new form that went harder than Excalibur Sonic.
It's actually Darkspine Sonic Barry.
That transformation is goated beyond belief. I just wish Sega did more with these ideas instead of just ignoring that the games even existed at all.
Accurate. Okay, Joe, you opened our minds here. So where do you want this game to be ranked?
I can understand the gameplay and all its flaws. So for all our opinions to count for something, I can settle for B tier.
That's fine.
Alrighty, now next is Sonic Heroes.
Goat.
All right, no debate there. Next up is Sonic Lost World.
Jesus, this game fucking sucks.
Joe, at least this is an actual playable fucking game, unlike the pile of shit that ended up being Sonic 06.
Oh my fucking God! Dude, will you leave it the fuck alone already? There's a fucking remaster made! Go play that fucking game already if you want it. The perfect fucking Sonic game.
Game is fucking trash.
That's a fucking enough. Let me address that we mix the same games again, so let me point it out.
I know what you mean, Barry. I got Rush mixed with Advance, and Rush don't have a third part, and the sequel to Rush is Sonic Rush Adventure, which we never played, so it can stay. However, to cover my feelings about the Advance series, they weren't that bad. I can see Advance 1 being in D tier, and 2 and 3 can go in C tier. I remember playing all 3 games. Back when I was Barry's VP, we'd travel around the country. I'd have a lot of fun completing these games, and it provided me with hours of entertainment.
I think the Advanced series should just go to D. The games were clunky, weird middle game boss fights, and not to mention the ever-lacking story, but the games do have a good soundtrack, interesting level designs, and epic ending boss fights, which I guess you can leave Advanced 2 and 3 and CA.
I don't know what the hell that was done, but I do agree the Advanced series was goated for those reasons, but I can settle for C. Now let's cover the other games first, starting with Lost World.
Fucking D tier, only because it's actually a step above 06, which is why it can go to D.
Okay, but the game was fucking trash, though. The shitty 6 group was actually fucking terrible.
Well, you do have a point, and I also don't like the stupid character arc that they tried making him go through, only for it to turn out flat.
I've never played this one, so D tier it is. Now on to Sonic Triple Trouble, and yeah, I haven't played this one either.
Same.
Yeah, I briefly remember playing this game like once, only because it was another Sonic game. Around the time of its release, the Sonic series was dry, and I wanted another title to play, but I only ever touched it once and forgot about it.
All right then, now we can really discuss Sonic Rush, and I think it should go in B tier. I know I've been agreeing with you two up until now, but hear me out. I do like the fighting aspect of the game. It was an interesting way to reintroduce the Sonic formula, while this game having the better story. And not to quote 06 Joe, but better way to reintroduce Blaze the Cat in a very cool way. So there's my thoughts on it.
My opinion of this game hasn't changed, though, B tier.
That's cool.
Now Sonic Forces, and holy shit, this game was a fucking disaster.
Fucking terrible excuse of a Sonic game. What the fuck, Sega?
I like the war aspect of the game, but it was a disappointment overall and just a pure fucking ass. Everything about this game just takes a shit about everything I liked about the Blue Blur. And overall made me want to quit the series. It was that bad.
I think we can all agree that the game is instant F tier.
Okay. Now, Sonic 1 is an S tier, no doubt about
Absolutely
it.
fucking not, Barry. This game is an instant F tier.
Joe, are you nuts? This game is literally the godfather of all the Sonic titles that came out after it, and you're putting it in fucking F tier?
Seriously, Joe, I gave you some rope with 06 and Secret Rings, but what the hell?
Yeah, right before you threw a 6 right into fucking F tier.
Oh my God, it was deserved.
The game has no spin dash, only 7 zones, janky controls, not to mention the boss fight on the final zone.
Joe, that's literally the entire fucking game. It's going into S tier.
Oh my God. Hold on a minute. Why would Sonic 2 be in A while Sonic 1 is in S? Just put it in A and let's go on.
Fine. All right, Joe. Now is Sonic Advance 1 through 3 again. We all said our feelings of them, so you'll slide 1 in D.
All right, that's fine. Wait, why are we going out of order?
No reason. Okay, now Sonic Adventure Part 2, fucking goated game.
Absolute, Barry. I couldn't say it better myself. Everything about it was a step up from Adventure 1.
This is the one thing that a Democrat and a Republican can agree on. Hell, why can politics be more like this?
Because video games are not important to politics. Anyways, the story and gameplay were just absolutely fire. I can feel the anime aspect from 1 and 2, and I spent at least 3 years on this game before I moved on to another title. So absolute.
Let's not forget that this game was the first to introduce Shadow, the most fire-edged Lord Sonic character ever.
Absolute banger. Also, I think we're leaving out the supersonic boss fights at the endings, which are always fire as fuck. Now, as for Sonic Advance 3, what more can we say that hasn't been said about it?
Yeah, I'm moving on to Sonic 3, and now from what I remember, Sonic and Knuckles was split into 2 games simply because of the hardware limitations of the Sega Genesis. Still, that didn't stop Sega from releasing this game. Still, I remember buying the game from the store. And just like Joe, I played nonstop until the ending, which I thought was lackluster. But the game was a banger overall. So it's going in this tier.
No complaints here. Let me start by saying that I hate how Sega refuses to give us a PC port of Unleashed, not to mention how the only way to play the best version of it is with an Xbox One X or Xbox Series X, and the latest version of Xena allows you to play it fully with Modi support. Fucking hate having to set that shit up.
Wow, Don, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, well, if you want an honest opinion of the game, I'll tell you that it's pretty fire.
You're goddamn right it is. The day and night stages were just great to explore. Finding hidden treasures, interesting hub worlds, and actually good bosses.
Not to mention the game's music tracks, all of which are pretty fire. I can listen to the day and night soundtracks on the road. They're even great to fall asleep to.
Well, no shit, sleepy-ass music for a sleepy Joe.
Oh, my effing God, Donnie.
But actually, Unleashed should go in AE tier. It's not the best Sonic game out there, but when it comes down to it, the night stages were just going and going and going, and I would sit there going, damn, this night stage is still going.
Skill issue. The night stages were goated in every way.
Oh, is that fucking so?
The Werehog stages were not that bad, Dun.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that they felt like they took way too long to complete, not to mention that annoying battle music that felt like it was needed, but it just ended up becoming just upright, annoying.
Yeah, I can agree with Don on this one. Can we also agree that the Sonic games we covered so far have banger soundtracks overall?
Don't get me wrong, Joe. The games have great music, but for Unleashed, there's some flaws that make it go into A tier, but it's a good enough game that it don't deserve the B tier.
So not fucking good enough for S tier? What about the epic boss fight with Supersonic with Light and Dark Gaia?
All of which are an amazing experience, especially the endings, music which is an orchestral version of Endless Possibility, which was also a banger.
Barack Obama, slide that shit into AE tier.
Really? Fine, fuck it, as long as it's not in B tier. Okay, and now we can discuss Frontiers, and this game is goated for being the first open zone Sonic game, even though they should have done this sooner.
Oh my God. Honestly, do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for this kind of game?
Couldn't agree more, Joe. This game has nothing but good music, good gameplay, and that little jank in its controls that a Sonic game can exploit.
Let's not forget the supersonic boss fights and the heavy metal tracks that fit so well with the shonen fighting, and the one track that can go with anything.
Find Your Flame really could go with anything. That song slaps harder than Sonic 06's Zebra Head opening it.
Jesus Christ, Donald J. Fucking Trump, if you mention 06 one more fucking time, I swear to God I will personally leave the Discord to go over there to kick your ass.
Fucking bet you won't, bitch.
I'm about to slap the shit out of both of you if we don't make it through this goddamn list. Now, I think that we should revisit this one. We mixed games up like how many times? And Joe, how can you put the Advanced series in C and D tier when you earlier stated that you never played them?
It's the fucking dementia that's taken over.
Death just take me already. It's not our fault, Barry. It's the bad writing that went into making this video.
The creator is truly a fucking idiot if he thinks a 6 should go into S tier.
God damn it, Don.
Donald, shut the hell up about 06 already. Frontiers is going into S tier. Sonic and the Black Knight. Now I think it can go right next to the Secret Rings. Hell might have been a sequel to it, maybe. But the mechanics and motion controls are still present in the gameplay. And lastly, the boss fight at the end felt weak. But I did like it for a Wii game.
I'm fine with that. The Secret Rings was a good game, and so was this, The Black Knight. The love balled between Shara and Eraser. Jin was beautiful, well put together. And not to quote 06 negatively, but why couldn't they just get Secret Rings, Black Knight, and 06 into a well put together game? Could have worked, to be honest.
That actually sounds like it could work, but you got to think they had to make games for the Wii and other consoles.
I can see both sides, but next to Secret Rings, it goes, now Sonic Mania, absolute SSS tier.
Absolutely, Barry. This game brings back all the love about the classic series, it being the literal next part to Sonic and Knuckles.
Now, this is a game that I'd consider to be an S-tier title. Slap that shit in there.
Jesus, Barry, we should revisit this list at some point because this is the third time we've seen Sonic 3 in the same list, but what more can we say about it?
Yeah, it's an S tier already. Oh yeah, I meant to call out your earlier statement about these games being 8-bit and they're 16-bit Trump.
Whatever. Anyways, the game that got mixed reception but deserves a remaster.
I highly agree. This game was such an underrated gem, a one-of-a-kind Sonic game where you can use guns. There's no other game like it.
Indeed, the guns were fun to use, not mention the variety of them there were. The stages and story endings where you can see the different alternatives of Shadow is truly interesting.
I bet Obama likes it based on his ethnicity.
What the fuck are you saying, Trump?
You know, guns and your, well, urban...
You did not just fucking say that. Mr. Epstein's flight logs.
So this game is an S-tier, huh?
Absolute.
Now put Sonic Adventure in A.
Oh, hell no.
Seriously, Trump, you are constantly a fucking ball buster.
Let me give you a few reasons here. The first Sonic game to ever come to 3D, the game wasn't perfect, no, but you got to admit the controls and level designs as well as the environmental storytelling throughout the stages is truly spectacular.
The game looks like shit, Don.
So does Sonic 06.
Donnie, don't you dare start this shit again.
So Sonic Generations.
Just put it in D&CD and never played. I didn't care for it, to be honest.
Are you sure about that?
Barry, I don't give a flying fuck at this point. Donald is already driving me nuts. I need a damn Adderall.
Oh, fuck you, Joe. You know what? Fuck Sonic CD. The second one was better anyways. I'm out this bitch, boys. Ciao.
Jesus, what a fucking afternoon this has been.
Barry, we should have done our research and take on a better list because there has been mixed reception to these games.
Yeah, I'll admit this list is pretty scuffed, but no point in going on if Trump rage quit already.
Barry, be honest with me. Do you really hate 06?
Well, now that Don isn't in the call, I'll tell you this, the game is a clunky fucking mess. However, though, I can see that buried underneath all the crap, I can see a really good Sonic game with lots of potential. The remaster from Chaos X is truly the best Sonic game I've ever played and gives me a new appreciation for 06. But Joe, the game has its reputation for a reason, man.
Trust me, I understand its flaws and everything. I just appreciate the game for being the mess that keeps existing and adding something to the storyline in a unique way. They obviously failed at that and gave us Secret Rings.
God, don't get me started with that fucking game. So, Joe, you want to run some Keno with me?
Hell yeah, Barry, boot up the lobby.
Bet.